Hello everyone, FPL Raptor here and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today is a very, very special one because we have the main man Chunkz in the building. This has been a long time coming, but we finally got it together and we're going to discuss his Game Week 4 team selection video today. So welcome to the channel, man.
Thank you very much, brother. I'm nervous, I'll be honest. This is a big moment for me. I don't really watch YouTube often, and it's funny I say that because I'm a YouTuber, but FPL Raptor, every single upload, brother, I'm there, man. So yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
I love to hear that. I love to hear that. So we are going to get into your team today, but I wanted to give you a bit of kind of credibility at the start before people think you're just coming on just for a bit of fun. So last season was Chunk's first proper season playing FPL, and you finished 66k. Now that is impressive in and of itself, right? Until you realise that actually because it was his first proper season, he actually spunked all of his chips within the first sort of 5 or 6 game weeks, and somehow went the entire season with all of those blanks and doubles with no chips and finished 66k. So how on earth did that happen?
Brother, I'll be honest, intuition.
Okay.
I have a good friend called Ross, which helped me out as well throughout the period. Because like I said, it was my first year playing, so I didn't understand how it works, when to use the chips, etc. So for me, I think I just kind of, like you said, just used all of it in the first 5 weeks, and I was kind of finished, bro. But my team, I felt like was set up good just for the overall year, and it kind of worked out, brother. I'll be honest, I'm happy with the top 66,000, man.
Yeah, it is. So you need to repeat that this year, maybe do better. For everyone that doesn't know, we've discussed it a few times on the live streams. We've got a mini league going at the moment. Yeah. It's got myself, Chunkz, Stormzy, Sharky, and Harry Pinero. I'm not going to lie, it's getting quite toxic, this mini league. And
horrible,
the group chat is popping off. And I mean, at the moment we'll discuss, you're actually 4th, but you're doing very well and you're only a few points off 1st. There is someone that is kind of at the bottom of the league.
Yeah, Harry Pinero, one of the worst players at FPL ever. By the way, guys, he doesn't have Haaland. I think, you know the man that tried to be quirky and stuff? Like, bro, he's inevitable. Just put him in your team. So obviously it popped off for him this week because of the fact that, you know what happened. And obviously he got 8 points. And I think he captained Jackson, which had 14. So obviously in that week it worked. But I think out of 38 weeks, you probably get it right 3-4 weeks out of 38. So like, I don't know, man. He's trying to be quirky, bro.
What are your predictions for the league then if you had to place the 5? Like,
genuinely, like, it hasn't changed as well. I think I said I put you first. And it's not glazing. It's just me being, because of the fact his name's FPL Raptor.
I have to win.
If my name was FPL Chunkz, then I'll back myself a bit more, but it's not, you know? So I'm going to say Ross first. I'm going to put myself second, I'll be honest.
Based on last season, definitely.
Just based on last season. If we're talking now stats, I was in the same group as Stormzy and Sharky, and I absolutely obliterated them. So for me, it's going to just be another year of that. And third, I'm going to say a surprise. Shot on the I'm going to say Sharky.
Yeah.
I'm going to say...
Good ball knowledge.
Good ball knowledge. He has a podcast in himself, so he has to know what he's talking about at the end of the day. So I would say him third, Stormzy 4th, and a cat 5th, a dog 6th, and 7th is going to be Harry Pinero's friend. And then at 8th is going to be Harry Pinero.
Very nice. If Harry's watching this, I'm sorry, Harry.
But no, he's my boy, but
it is what it is.
Shocker.
Is what it is.
Shocker, yeah.
Right, so actually in goal, you're in a really, really good position because a lot of people at the moment looking at West Ham and wanting some of their assets. You do have Onana as your main goalkeeper, but he's got a tricky fixture against Arsenal this week. And you've got Areola coming in against Luton. So what was the reason for picking him? Was it just in the hope that he started as a 4 million keeper? Or?
Nah, generally, for me, it was like... obviously Fabianski is a West Ham keeper, but I just didn't know if he was going to start this season. He's getting on, obviously, he's a year older. So for me, I was like, Areola, obviously, great keeper. He's played in the Champions League before, I'm pretty sure anyway. And I thought, he's 4 million, you know what I mean? I have to get him in. And someone that's going to potentially start games. And Areola ended up being that. Obviously, not going to lie, I didn't expect him to pop off the way he has with the penalty saves, etc. So that's a great asset for me, and I'm very happy to start him. But of course, he's got City and Liverpool the next couple of weeks, so... yeah, we're looking to maybe change him up a bit. I don't know yet. I'm just still figuring out.
Yeah, well, I think you're in a good position because a lot of people's keeper this week isn't ideal. I mean, most other keepers have pretty tricky fixtures, but you've got Areola coming in against Luton, so I'd be pretty happy with that. A lot of people have been asking me in the videos, would I transfer in Areola at the moment? I don't like goalkeeper transfers. I don't think it's necessarily worth it, and that goes throughout the season, but especially at the start. It's difficult to gauge because like Onana could go on a run now where he keeps clean sheets. Pickford, maybe not so much, but you could imagine some of these teams going on runs after having a difficult first few. So I wouldn't be using goalkeeper transfers, but you're in a good position having Areola. The defence is absolutely class. Like you've got most of the defenders you would want. Yeah. There are a couple that maybe you would want to use, but to be honest, at the moment, people are looking at, obviously most people have Chilwell anyway. You're looking at maybe getting another Chelsea defender in there, and Udogie looks absolutely brilliant at the moment. You've already got Chilwell, Colwell, Udogie, so you're really set up. Are there any defenders that you want outside of those ones? Or?
I'm looking at, obviously, you know, Man City, brother. Like, they don't know what they're doing themselves. So for me, I've loved a Man City asset because you can see they're doing very well. I even wanted to put Edison in, but Obviously, a bit too expensive, 5.5, I think. So I want to get in a Man City asset, but it's like to find out who's actually nailed. And that's the headache in itself. So for me, I'd rather risk and get someone else and just throw away the Man City assets, man. Because I think for Rodri, maybe Edison and Haaland are the only people that are like stamped in the team.
Yeah.
So Liverpool, I'm not really interested in their assets. Right now, I can't lie, I'm kind of comfortable with the back line.
Yeah.
And I think I'm doing pretty well. But there may be actually Newcastle assets because I think they've got a good run of games potentially. I haven't looked at it, but because they've had a hard start, so they should have some easy games coming up.
Around five game week 6 as a fixture swing.
There you go then. So for me, I'm looking at a young Trips, but he might be a bit too expensive.
Yeah.
Is Botman injured?
He's got a knock. We'll have to wait and see. But he is the one, I
see.
think. Because you're saving 2 million going for Botman instead of Trippier.
Well, there you go, brother. But then obviously Trips does come in with the set pieces. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Look, I'm talking like a pro. I'm talking like I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm trying to say? Because obviously, yeah, I just do some research. So, yeah, I'm looking at bringing in a Newcastle asset potentially.
That's a good question, though, in and around that. So I asked the same question to Storms and to Sharky when they came on the channel. Like, how do you make your decisions in FPL? Because it's obviously for me, my job, I need to look up the underlying data and I look at all of these different things. But for you, like, what's the driving point? Like, if you want to bring in a player, is it because you've watched the games and they look good? Is it highlights? Is it YouTube? Is it underlying data? Like, what's
so for me, generally, it's mostly eye test. Like, I just base it off myself because I'm going to look at it. I'm watching most games nowadays because I'm so invested into FPL. I try to look at, for example, if it's attackers, where they play on the field. So, for example, I remember Mbeumo early on, he was literally up there, bro. Yeah. So, like, I was thinking, bro, like, this guy's going to potentially score loads of goals because Tony's out. So, that's someone I've always wanted to bring in, but I just haven't been able to. But then it's kind of just like where they take up on the pitch. You know what I mean? So, if, for example, Matoma, like the last game, he wasn't really trying to get in there, and I realized he didn't score a goal. So, I think, it's mostly eye test, but then, of course, fixtures as well is very important because I want to see who you're coming up against. And if you're coming up against a Luton or a Sheffield, like, no disrespect, but you're probably going to score 16 goals. So it's like, let me try and get you in the team. That's the vibe. But then in terms of defenders, intuition, bro. It's like, just let's see who's doing well. And I tried to get attacking defenders as well. I
like that, yeah.
So you can see I've got 2 fullbacks, or 3 now because Odogi plays left back. So yeah, man, whoever can give me like attacking returns, that's who I also look into.
I'll allow you to big yourself up here. Do you want to tell the people watching who your Game Week 3 transfer was?
Oh, yeah. So
because this was a good transfer.
Wait, so I took out Gabriel Magalhaes. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan. He played 38 games out of 38 last year in the league, I'm pretty sure. And I always wanted him in. So I said, I just seen him. He's not starting. I don't know what's happening. So I just decided to remove him, take the L with a 0.1, 4.9 out, and I bought in Udogi or Udogi. I remember you saying that. Is that his name?
Who knows? I think it's Udogi.
Brother, Udogi. That looks right to me. So I'm going to say Udogi. And yeah, 12 points, I think it was. Yeah, when I saw him assist, I was literally watching it. I don't like FPL.
What don't you like?
It's making me do things I'd never want to do. Like, why am I cheering Spurs? Am I sick? Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, it's doing some wrong things. So, for example, like Arsenal, if I've got a player like Eze, for example, bro, it was 1-0 and I'm saying, it's a little golden. Am I all right, bro? Like, I don't like what it's doing to me, man.
I know. I mean, Storm said the same thing. Like, when we lost 7-0 to Liverpool, he had like 2 or 3 Liverpool assets, and he said he was quietly thinking, like, you know, that's not a bad thing.
It just shows you, like, this game's doing too much to me. I might stop. No, that's a lie. I can't. So, yeah, for me, I think it's just making me change as a person, maybe. But I'm also much more invested in football, man.
I've got a quote from our group chat the other day from you. I thought I brought this up now. You said, bro, it ruins my weekends. Wish I never played.
Yeah.
It gets to that point, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, because you know what it is? It's like my weekend is based off my FPL. Like, I'll be driving, get a notification and start screaming. And like everyone will look at me like, you all right? I'm saying, oh, you scored. It's like, bro, why do you care? Like, that's 10th, 1st and 15th. And I'm just like, you don't understand, man. It's the points. And it's like, now all my friends play. So it's kind of even more competitive. Like, because out of every one of my friends, I think I'm maybe 10th, 11th. So it's embarrassing, man. I don't like my start so far.
And then there's Estepinian is the final one to discuss. Some people talk about selling him this week because the fixtures coming up are pretty stinky for Brighton. But are you just of the opinion he's so attacking you don't need to?
At the end of the day, he might not get you clean sheets, but he's going to get you attacking returns. Like you can see from last season, he put up a lot of assists, even a couple goals. So for me, I'm gonna maybe back him. That's how I feel right now. But of course, I've got 2 free transfers, so let's see what I'm gonna do with them. I don't like Newcastle or Manchester United at all.
Okay.
So it could be scary. Yeah, it could be scary.
Okay. Well, this week, depending on the transfers you make, you could end up benching him if you end up bringing in a forward. But we'll discuss that in a second. Yeah. Midfield. Now, I don't dislike the midfield, but there are definitely...
I do.
You do dislike midfield. There are definitely a few spots that there are a few underperforming players. And there are probably 4 in your case. 4 big players that you'd probably want to bring in, which is maybe Foden, Sterling, Maddison, and Mbeumo. All of those look really good.
I'm not convinced with Foden, you know?
What is it, the minutes?
It's the minutes. I hate bringing in a midfielder that's going to play 60 minutes or maybe even 20 if he comes on in the last second half. So for me, bro, I'll be honest, I'm not really concerned. If Foden pops off, he pops off. Like I'm not going to be upset about that. One I'm definitely upset about is the differential Sterling, man.
Yeah.
Like Nico Jackson's not going to score too many goals, I don't think, this season. Maybe not now anyway. And Raz is going to be putting up the numbers. I should have backed him. He's a boy from Brent. I'm from Brent. I don't know why I didn't back my boy, man. It's horrible.
Yep. Okay, so let's talk about which players you think are the biggest issue to sell. Because the way that I play FPL, and this is always the advice that I give, is I don't try to focus too much on like shiny new toys. So I wouldn't be thinking I want Sterling. I would be thinking who's the biggest issue in my team that I need to sell first. So obviously, I think Saka's fine. Back on penalties.
You better be.
Pretty good.
We think he is. Bro, you better be on penalties, man. Otherwise, just flying at my team, I'll be honest. I need someone that's going to get me goals this season. Points, guaranteed.
Yeah.
So yeah, Saka I'm happy with.
Saka happy. I'd say the other four, there's justification to take them all out. Obviously, Salah's incredibly expensive. Eze's underperformed in the first three in comparison to the similar. We spoke about Diaby a little bit that you want maybe in Burmo.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah.
He's getting involved, brother. Goals, assists. I like his position. He's getting to on the field. I might get him in.
It's like a second striker at the moment.
Genuinely, I might bring him in. That might happen.
Yeah. So Eze's the position. And then we've got Rashford, obviously underperforming, but better on the left. We spoke about this off camera.
Yeah.
You prefer Rashford on the left.
I don't think he'll have the same purple patches last season, but I think if you play him off the left, wait for that Højlund to come back, or even maybe a Martial, even though I don't rate him too tough. Like I feel like him coming off the left, because you could see last game 2 assists, but then Bruno Fernandes for me might even be a better suit there, man.
Yeah, probably.
How much does he cost? 9.5? 10?
Bruno?
Yeah.
8.5. He's cheaper than Rashford.
I swear to God, I didn't know this.
Yeah, cheaper than Rashi. Rashi's 9, Bruno's 8.5.
Yeah. We're going to have to look into that.
But that's obviously, even like you say, even on the left, I still don't think we're going to see the heights that we saw last season.
Nah, definitely not.
And the interesting thing is that in Rashford's, it was one of his best ever seasons in the United shirt. He only just broke 200. And people were claiming that Bruno had a poor season last year, and he almost matched Rashford. So you got to think, in Bruno's worst ever season, probably for us, he still was close. You got to think Bruno is probably the better asset to own.
I like that.
Mistakes were made.
Whoa, you made me just kind of open my eyes, you know. But then I remember watching your video. You said something about, you said, if he plays off the left, then he's probably a better asset to have.
I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do still agree with that. Just through goal threat, because Bruno still doesn't score goals.
Yeah, I know, but he's on pens, isn't it?
Yeah, we do
And
get a lot of
VAR,
penalties.
with VAR now, obviously, bro, you're most likely to get at least 6-7 penalties a season.
It's true.
Man.
It's true.
So I don't know. It's a weird one. It's definitely difficult.
And then Matoma's an interesting one because he's actually done you quite well. Obviously, he hasn't matched in Burmo, but he's done you quite well. But as I said with Estepinian, fixtures are a bit crap coming up. Yeah. Is he someone that you're fine keeping? Because you just said you look at fixtures. If you look at these fixtures, Bournemouth in Gameweek 6 is the only good one. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, they're really bad fixtures.
I think Matoma's also that player that can pop off and then randomly just go ghost for 3-4 games. Yep. And that's what I'm kind of worried about. Because even like Solly March, for example, but that might be a better option. I don't know yet. I think Matoma, I'm kind of happy. Obviously, I'm not expecting him to get many points in the next 2 fixtures. So is it something I can look at removing potentially, bro?
Okay.
Because, maybe not. I don't know yet. I'm not fully convinced with Matoma.
Okay. I'm going to discuss the 2 or 3 forwards before we discuss the midfield, because I'd like to know, based on those 8 attackers that you've got, who are you most likely to sell? Because you've got some expensive players in there. You've got 2 free transfers. There are plenty of places that you could make the transfers. It's just about prioritising. So Erling Haaland, again, we were discussing this off camera before we started recording, hasn't been great recently.
No.
But you still don't fancy backing against him at the moment.
It's crazy because with Erling, he's got 2 goals in the first game, 1 in the last game. So that's like 3 goals in 3 games.
Yeah, but then he went on a run at the end of the season.
Yeah, but at the end of the season, I feel like they were more focused on the Champions League. They already secured the flipping the Prem. Like I don't think he played many minutes anyway, bro. He was coming off half time sometimes. So for me, I think it's crazy to even look at Haaland and doubt him. He's inevitable, but. I generally don't believe he'll have the same season as he did last year, and which is absolutely fine because he went crazy last year with Kevin De Bruyne coming out injured. It's kind of like a weirder system in terms of trying to implement him and actually get him some goals. And maybe he might not look as confident, but again, 3 games in, so we can't be too premature. But I'm not as convinced as I was last season, but I think it'll be so stupid taking him out of your team because everyone has him. So it's like, imagine what point do you have to prove? Like, imagine you don't have him in the team and he just starts scoring 3 goals as he usually does. Like, you're the idiot.
Yeah.
Like Harry Pinero. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just about being careful. And Haaland's going to probably stay on my team.
Yeah, so maybe it's about still probably captaining and owning, but just tempering your expectations that he's not going to.
Yeah, just understand he's not getting you a hat trick and a brace every other game. Like he most likely won't. But I could be wrong, bro. He's got Fulham, West Ham, and Nottingham Forest. He could probably get 9 goals in the next 3 games, and we all love him again. So I think we need to relax a little bit, maybe.
Okay, I agree. And I actually saw an interesting thing that was on Twitter talking about this, that just centre forwards in modern day football are kind of just struggling to get involved in the play because of the ways that the wingers work. We played this inverted system as well. The number 10's getting on the ball more. Yeah. It's actually very rare to see a number 9 kind of dominating the ball, getting lots of touches and chances. I mean, even like Jackson, Haaland, you look at it, kind of Wissa and Burmo, they're not getting tons and tons of chances. It's actually often the wingers that are the ones creating.
Yeah, of course. And Haaland isn't the most technical footballer anyway. So it's like, I think him in the box, dangerous. His movement inside the box stays like a fox in the box. But now if you want him to get involved in build-up play, that ain't going to happen for you.
Exactly.
So, like, he's going to probably have 4 shots, 5 shots in a game. Just hope one of them goes in, and most likely will. Sterling Haaland.
Yep, I agree. Right, then you've got a 4.5 forward. I don't think we need to discuss that much because they'll just sit third bench most of the time. Yeah. But the big one that we do need to discuss, you do still have João Pedro.
Stinks.
Obviously, I removed him last week. I wasn't happy about that because I thought he'd start in Game Week 3. I genuinely did.
I did as well, brother. I thought Enciso's injured, you're going to come in, and then when the Zerbi comes out and says, Evan Ferguson's starting, I said, well, thanks. You know what I mean? He obviously doesn't play FPL. Yeah. Because it's like, brother, João Pedro, I thought he was going to pop off, especially the first game of the season, 1 goal. But then I think I heard something about the Zerbi doesn't like the way he plays. So I don't like the way he plays in that case then. I need to remove him. But I was looking at a 1 year and I see 6.5 or something. What the hell is going on there? Yeah. Because I really wanted him because I think he's got 7 goals off the trot so like in a row.
9 goals in 7 games. He scored 7 in a row.
He's trying to beat Vardy's record.
The Vardy record.
So for me, I'm going to try and free up some funds because I think no matter who he has, he can score against them. Or Man United absolutely burnt Rashford. Then you got against us, he scored as well. So I don't care who he's versus. I think he's always got a good chance, man.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And I think the only player in this team that I say has to go is João Pedro.
No, he will never see my team again. Like, he's not sniffing it. And look at the fixtures he's got coming up anyway. Bro, no. He's not my team no more.
Okay, so we'll put all of that together then. That's the team. Who are you looking to potentially move on and bring in? Like, if the deadline was right now and you were forced to make kind of, let's say 2 moves because you got the 2 free transfers. Where can you see yourself moving at the moment?
I'll tell you what's annoying, brother. It's like the funds. So, for example, if I take out an Eze and a João Pedro, I can't really get anyone premium because it's like he's 5.9 or was it 6.4? Eze, he's gone down by 0.1. I saw that, broke my heart. And then you got Pedro that's just 5.5. It's like I'm not really gonna get any premiums.
I think you've got to sell probably Salah or Rashford, and it's tough selling both because Rashford's better on the left, and his fixtures aren't bad coming up. And you can see, I mean, Salah's fixtures, Villa, Wolves, West Ham, they're not terrible
If I'm to take out anyone, it would be Rashford.
You prefer to sell Rashford rather than Salah?
Yeah, because Salah, for me, I think he's one of them ones where I've invested in you already. I've given you 3 games. You haven't done the greatest. Yeah. But if you now pop off in those next 3 games, I might fight someone, like genuinely, physically. So I think I'm going to maybe just take a chance on him and then potentially remove Rashford. But that's just because Arsenal, he can score against us. He scored against us at Emirates. I saw it. I was there. Yeah. And he can do that again, bro. So I don't know, whatever it is, I know it's going to pain me, man. I really know it's going to pain me.
So if you were to sell Rashford to be able to upgrade João Pedro, again, just to recap, you said not a massive fan of Foden. No. So I think you've probably got Sterling, Maddison, and Burmo Diaby as maybe the 4 options. Yeah, I think is there anyone that's leading the line at the moment for you to come in if you were to bring in someone?
Obviously, if now money wasn't an issue, I would bring in Maddis for me. I think he's nailed into that Tottenham team. We got kind of catfish because we thought that he wasn't going to play, and all of us, he started playing. You know, so I think for me, what makes the most sense, I'll probably bring in Diaby.
Okay.
And then bolster up to that attack because I think off of that, I'm going to have some change left. He's 6.6 or 6.7. They've got, 2.3 left. Add that on the 5.5. Looking at 7 point something. Yep. Could probably bring in a Jackson. Yeah. Even though I don't love him, I don't think he's gonna get me too many goals. But then I think it would be crazy to bring in a 1 year man as my main guy. You know what I mean?
You could do Rashford to Sterling and João Pedro to Jackson. So you could bring up the.
And that's
you've got 2 Chelsea players.
Oh,
you can only have one of Sterling or Jackson. This is the thing. If you bring in Jackson and Sterling continues to pop off.
You know, I brought in Cole just on a random one. I don't think he was going to do anything.
But he's good for clean sheets, but he's maybe nothing beyond that. You're not going to get many attacking.
Could have brought in a Gusto. Remember I told you about Gusto as well, bro?
You did.
Bro, I know stuff. Because I saw that Reece James was coming out and then he gets 2 assists. Devastated. But as of yet, I don't have anything cemented, but I'm definitely going to, because obviously we still got a couple of days left, innit? Yeah. So for me, it's early on. I'm going to say I'm most likely going to take out a Rashford and a Pedro and then maybe look at a Maddison and a Jackson. Okay. If I can do that financially, we're going to find out. But if not a Maddison, then maybe a Diaby.
Yeah.
and a Jackson.
I like the look of the RB. And from game week 8 onwards, Villa's fixtures are naughty. They've got really nice fixtures. It's just the next few aren't ideal, but Villa score against everyone. Emery's a good manager.
Emery, come on, brother. I rate him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I used to rate Brighton, but then you see what they've done against West Ham. So it's like they're the weirdest team on earth.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know what they're on, bro.
Unpredictable, aren't they?
Yeah.
So the last thing I just wanted to show you is there are recommended transfers based on the AI.
AI
this is based
stuff,
on like projected points, basically over the next few weeks. They recommend selling Rashford and João Pedro, and they actually recommend that you bring in Foden and Jackson, which would mean that you can afford Maddison and Jackson instead.
Yeah, I think I'm more.
So you think you're more convinced by Maddison?
Because obviously, like I said, the
minutes.
He's playing 90 minutes or maybe 80 something, whatever. And obviously the fact that Spurs, pains me to say, they look very good this season, man. So I think if there's going to be goal involvements, he's going to be involved. I think he assisted 2, scored 1 already.
Yep.
Compared to a Foden, which we don't know whether he's playing or not. I remember he was meant to be playing this today or that day, sorry, and he was ill or something.
Yeah.
But then he ended up coming off the bench. So are you ill? Or like, I don't get it, brother.
Yeah, it is unpredictable. And also the thing to note, again, if you don't know this at home as well, Sterling and Maddison, Chelsea and Spurs, they don't have European football this year because they stunk so much last season.
Yeah, because Chelsea were horrendous.
Yeah. So they don't have any issues with Europe, whereas Foden, obviously Champions League from game week 5 onwards coming up. So
you know what, Jackson, bro? He reminds me of Darwin last season. Busy
lots
body,
of chances,
gets involved, gets a lot of chances.
Misses them. Yeah, I think I prefer Sterling to Jackson, you know, but it's just there are other good midfielders like Maddison, and like Diaby, and like Mbermo.
I wish I could have all of them.
Yeah,
I wish I could have all of them.
I just wanted to kind of finish with like your strategy for this season, because last season you obviously played all your chips, a little bit hit happy probably at the start, just taking hits for fun.
I ain't using one of them.
You play more patient this year?
Oh my God, brother. I'm using it when it literally pains me and I have to. So for me, it's like, obviously when the double game weeks start coming up and stuff, because obviously Luton's already fluffed their first game. One of their first games, sorry. So I'm definitely going to be more patient with the chips. I think, you know, with the triple captain, bro, like we will say, it's obviously logical to put it in a double game week, but then let's say a Haaland that which plays one game and then doesn't play the other. Like, it's not really worth it, bro.
Triple captain's the one that I don't mind in a single game week. It's the one that makes the most sense in just when he's got like Luton.
You know what I mean? Luton, just why not give it a punt? You saw Matty Cash.
Yeah.
And that's another annoying one because he always gets those random seasons where he just scores 2 in a game or assists 1. And so I think I'm even probably looking to bring him in if I'm honest. But
shout out to Sharky who sold Matty Cash this
week. I love you for that, Sharks, man. Appreciate that, brother, man.
He did bring in you doggy, but he also sold Matty Cash.
What did Matty get this week? 20?
Like 19 points, something like that. Yeah, that's a painful one. And he looks good moving forward as well. So.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, this is the issue.
Keep that secret.
Okay then, cool. Right, so that is it. That's the video today, looking at Chunkz Game Week 4 team. Obviously, do check out Chunkz and all the socials and stuff. But if you don't know Chunkz is, what have you been doing anyway? But obviously, all the Beta Squad stuff, go follow him over on Twitter as well. And I appreciate you coming on the channel. We'll have to do this again maybe towards the end of the season as well.
I'm ready whenever, bro. I love FPL. You can tell I'm addicted, bro. So whenever you got time for me, I'm here, brother.
And we'll maybe try and get a video going, maybe at the SDS studio with all of us. If we can get 5 seats there.
That's incredible.
Get the mini league going at the end of the season.
Talk to Sharky, man. Let him get that done. But I just want to quick shout out to him, all the joke men in my group. Sharky, Stormzy, Harry Pinero, I'm on you. Yeah? I'll see you very soon.
Okay, so thank you very much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, bye-bye.